Hi YouTube. Hey, I had something happen to me today, last night at work. I was trying to donate blood, and I went in to donate blood with the Central Blood Bank out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and everything was good. Everything was good at first. I took did my interview. I filled out the questionnaire, and then after the questionnaire, I went in the back for my interview. And during my interview, the girl, she poked my finger, checked my iron, then she checked my temperature. Iron was fine, temperature was fine. And then the strangest thing happened. She checked my pulse. My pulse was 40. Well, first she checked my pulse, and then I said, she asked me, are you pretty relaxed? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty relaxed, I'm relaxed right now. She said, well, your pulse is only 40. I'm like, wow, a 40 pulse? I never had my pulse be 40 before. And she said, well, what does it usually go? I said, well, usually between 50 and 60. She asked me if I run a lot. I'm like, well, yeah, I run 2 or 3 times a week sometimes. I work out and stuff. And she asked me about what it regularly is, and I said 50 to 60. And then I said, well, I usually check it here at work. After I work out, that's usually be about 50 or 60, in the 60s maybe. And she said, well, 40 is too low. It's too low to give blood. And I'm like, really? So that's never happened to me before, to be too low to give blood. And I said, well, check the other arm. She checked the other arm, and it was 44. I'm like, wow, that's not much of a difference. It's probably a difference of that because, her talking to me, and I'm like getting all worked up, and like, why is my pulse so low? Well, she said that 44 was too low also. She didn't tell me what the minimum was, but then she said, well, it's just too low. We won't be able to take blood today. I'm like, well, okay, if that's your rule. So I didn't get to give blood. Well, after I got out of there, I went back to my desk, and I was walking back to my desk, and I'm thinking, well, wonder why my pulse is so low. So I'm going to check it on the machine that's here. So I ended up going back to my desk and checking things. Everything was okay at my desk. So I went down to where the blood pressure monitor machine is. Checks your blood pressure and your heart rate. Well, my heart rate then was 61. Well, first of all, I went back to my desk. And at my desk, I checked my heart rate myself, and it was 48. Like, well, mine's 48. Well, shoot, that's still not very much further. Then I went down and checked it at the machine, and it was 61. Blood pressure was like 108 over 52 or something like that. I'm like, well, how did she get 44 and I get 48, and then this machine says 61? I was thinking, well, maybe she's went 15 seconds and then counted for 15 seconds and then multiplied it by 2 instead of 3. I don't know what happened, but then I started checking on the internet, and it said that people that run do get that kind of pulse that's really low. It's like the resting rate is really low. I just wonder if that's happened. If is that something common, or has that happened to anybody else out there? I don't consider myself a big runner. I've just been doing this running thing since regularly anyway, since like last October, doing the Shaytober for Shay Loss. And to have my pulse in the 40s, it's really low for me. And then I've been doing this freeletics, which is real hard, high intense cardio, and I do get pretty I do a lot of but then I recover really quick, I think. But I don't know, if it just happened to other people, just give me some of your thoughts on what you think about it, okay? And comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, okay? Thanks. Bye.